most popular tourist activity in northern Thailand is trekking. The city that most people start out from is Chiang Mai. Here we are at a market on our way out to start trekking to pick up provisions like mosquito spray and food. Most of the trek packages include some hiking, some elephant riding, and some rafting. So the first thing that we did was ride elephants. Besides the size difference, another difference between the Asian elephants and the African elephants is the shape of their head. The African elephants have this flat head, and the Asian elephants have these two bulges in their head. Traditionally, the elephants were used in Thailand for carrying timber and also in war. But when logging was outlawed, a lot of the elephants were redeployed into the tourist sector. The elephants could have a career of 50 years, so they would be usually handled by two people, maybe a father and a son, so that they had a handler throughout their entire career.
Okay, now we are checking.
And here we are starting the actual trek. At first it was pretty slow going, but it picked up pretty quickly.
2.5 hours more.
2.5 more hours.
We call this area, we call the Matang area. So now we're close to the Burma. From here to Burma, 70 kilometers by trekking, walking.
We had two guides with us. The one guide you saw there was the Thai guide, and the other one was actually from Burma, but he was living in Thailand since he was a little kid. And both of our guides were really good. Natasha ended up cracking her head open at one spot. It wasn't too serious, but they patched her up real nicely. So after we trekked uphill for about 3 hours, we finally arrived at this village where we would stay overnight. It's a Hmong village, but there weren't actually any people there when we were there, so apparently we were there around Hmong New Year and they were out celebrating.
Chili, onion, and coconut milk. Yeah. Green curry.
That night the guides cooked for us and we all ate together as a group. There were about 8 or 9 of us traveling in that group. And there were some traditional Hmong clothes that you can stand behind and get a photo taken. And this was the view from the little village that we stayed in. He accompanied us during the whole trip. He was pretty well behaved. The next morning the guides cooked us breakfast, cooked us eggs and toast. We picked up a few extra people from some other group, but they went in the opposite direction that day. And then on the way out we saw this machine to hull rice to separate the grain from the shell. And then we were on our way to go do a little bit more hiking. As you can see, Natasha's not carrying bags anymore. At this point, I was carrying the bags for both of us. And then we finally arrived at a place that we could actually go swimming. You can see on the right side of the screen there, the guy standing in the back is sliding down a little water slide there. After we went swimming, we did a little bit more walking and arrived at this village. And at this point, the walking was done. And we took a truck to go rafting. Alright, we're riding on the top of a truck to the rafting part for the last adventure in our trekking in Chiang Mai. Yeah, we're cool! So we got to go rafting. They drove us upstream and then gave us an inflatable raft to go down. Went down part of the way in the inflatable raft and then the rest of the way on one of these bamboo rafts. You can find maps of where we went trekking at the website there if you're interested in planning a trip to go trekking yourself.